we're going to talk about Wallride placement. So in a map you're porting, there might already be billboards or other surfaces that you want to attach a Wallride to. Because generally you want your Wallride to line up exactly with what you're attaching it to. So I'm going to show you two ways to do this, two different instances. So there's two different types of Wallrides. The first is a standable billboard. Now this is a billboard where the mesh behind the Wallride lets you stand on it. Ideally you want it to be flush with the Wallride so that you can stand on it and jump and get a standing goon. The other type of Wallride is one with no collision. And this is one where the mesh that's behind the Wallride doesn't have any collision, which means the only thing you're going to be colliding with is the Wallride, and these ones cannot be stood on. But these ones are easier to goon on because you can simply fall into the top of them without having to worry about landing on the billboard as opposed to the Wallride. So they both have their uses. It's usually good when a map has a good balance of both, have a couple of standing boards somewhere, but then most of the other boards should be ideally not standable, so that you can just fall right down into them and get goon chains easier. But it's all up to preference. Like, you might only like standing billboards, you might not like standing billboards at all. It's just about however you want the map to play out. So first I'm going to show you non-standing billboards. So what I like to do to get it to be exact is I like to make an empty. So you right click to create empty. Now hold V and vertex snap it to the back of the Wallride. Now make sure it's snapping to the Wallride itself and not the billboard. You don't even have to worry about this billboard, you can hide it. As long as you know which face is facing forward, you don't need to worry about that. You just want the trigger. So you take this thing, and now that you've got your empty to this back left corner here, you can drag it out and drag the Wallride inside of it. Set this from center to pivot and set this from global to local too. Now this will let you attach the corner of your billboard to the actual billboard that you want it to be attached to. So now it's perfectly aligned with the mesh that you're attaching it to, and then you can rescale it like this. Now you'll be able to resize it like this and get it really close, and then you can zoom in. And if you want to get it really exact, you can just play with the numbers until it looks perfect. Now you notice the rotation is off. You can do the same thing, you can just fiddle with the numbers until it's lined up enough to your liking. But another way that you can get it lined up perfectly, take your grind. Now snap the grind to the billboard behind the Wallride, like this. Now click on the line and you'll see the rotation will actually give you the exact angle. You can copy that, get rid of the grind, go back to your Wallride and paste in that rotation. And if it's like this, if it's misaligned like this, you can just make another empty parent, rotate it 90 degrees, and there you go, or 180 depending on how it is. Now your Wallride should be perfectly aligned with the billboard that's behind it. And now people won't be misled. Like, they'll get exactly what they see in your map. Most of the time when you're doing non-standable billboards, it's going to look like this. So you're going to have your billboard model, and it's going to be in the exact same spot as your Wallride itself. So you don't have to make it this exact to where there's Z-fighting, but you just want it to be as close as you can to where the Wallride lines up as perfectly as you can get it with the billboard model, and the billboard model has no collision, so you just touch the Wallride. And another thing too, these red triggers, make sure that you uncheck the mesh renderer before you export your map, because if you don't, people are going to see this red trigger. So just over here where it says mesh render, you just uncheck that. Now one very important thing about resizing it like this, after you're done, you need to take this back out and have it just be out in the open, because if it's inside of a parent that's resized, the goon speed and the way that you ride the wall is going to be affected. So let me show you what I mean. So if I try to use it the way it is right now, you'll notice that I'm snapping right to the center. This is not how you want your Wallride to be able to be ridden. You want to be able to climb up it by jumping. This one will just keep snapping you to the center. And if you hit a goon on it, this is like the billboards in university. The billboards in university have this problem. The billboards in Business Park have this problem. The billboards in Funkhatten have this problem. This is what causes these insane levels of storage, which in most maps, you don't really want your billboards to give this much storage when you hit a goon. Like, unless that's specifically what you're intending to happen, this is way, way too much storage. So that is what happens if you don't take your Wallride back out of the parent that you made for it. And it also lets you hit these bottom goons. Don't really want it for most maps, unless that's specifically what you're going for. So all you gotta do to fix that, just take it out of the game object that it's in, just have it be right with no parent. You can make it have a parent, but this parent has to have the scale 111. If the parent that it's in is scaled up or down at all, it's going to affect the goons and it's going to affect how you Wallride it, so you don't want it to be like that. You want it to be like this. Another thing to mention is that rotating billboards. You can rotate it this way all you want, and you can even have a vertical billboard that'll send you up. But if you rotate it like this, it's not going to function. And if you rotate it like this, it is going to function, but it's going to be very, very buggy. It's going to give way more storage, and it's going to let you do what's called a charge goon, which is where you walk into this spot right here and it charges up your storage. So unless that's what you want, you shouldn't have your billboards be crooked in this way. You can make them crooked this way, just not this way, and especially not this way, because this way it is not even going to work. So now I'm going to show you standing billboards. Here's how you make a standing billboard. And generally speaking, if you want your billboard to have collision, you want it to be a standing billboard. It's going to be very disappointing if people try to stand on it and jump and they're not able to go in from it. You're probably going to want to just like push it in a little so they're overlapping. So you want it to kind of be sticking out like this. This is a pretty good standing board. We're going to test it out. Alright, now let's check out this standing board. So you see that you can stand right on it, and get on the edge, make your save state, and boom. That'll work every time. So that's a great way to start your line. Make a little standing billboard, jump right from it like that. So now, if your map has a lot of props, billboard props like this, and they're placed all around the map and they're the same size and everything's the same about them, but they're moved differently, here's a shortcut you can use where you don't have to do that whole process again. You just take your game object, you're going to place it inside that billboard, then you're going to copy it and paste it inside the other one. Copy that transform, go to the other one, paste component values, and it's going to snap right to it just like it is on the other one. So you can repeat this for all of the different billboards in your map as long as they're the same. And you can even do multiple at a time. So like, say I've got a whole bunch of billboards like this, you can just put it in that one, that one, that one. Copy the transform component from the first, select all three, right click, paste component values. Now they'll all just have that Wallride on them exactly the same way. This will save you a ton of time placing billboards. So you've got some kind of object that you want to reuse. The first thing you should do is turn it into a prefab. So just take it and drag it down into here. Now you can drag it back into your world as many times as you want. It will be exactly the same as that first one. And if you open up your first one and make a change to it, and you kind of change, save the prefab, go back to your world, and you'll see that all of these have the same exact change made to them. So this is another thing that will save you a ton of time when you're making your map. If you're trying to copy and paste something, you want to change it later down the road, every single instance of that object in your map will be updated instead of just one.